What's your name, your position, and how many years have you been teaching in Otterville schools?
Doris King. I have been teaching first grade for 16 years. 16 long, beautiful years.
Why'd you choose education?
Because all the kids in the neighborhood kept coming to my house for me to do their homework. I was a nurse, and I was getting ready to go back and become an LPN because I was a home health nurse, where I could do vitals and make sure the patients did their meds. And therefore, so I've always been out there caring for others. And the kids kept coming and they kept complaining, like, this is easy. You can do it, you can do it. And all they needed was motivation, time, and patience. And so one of the boys made a joke. I'm not gonna call his name. He's now up. Now I don't want to embarrass him. And he said, well, why don't you come over there at the high school and teach us? Because all they do is sit there and tell us, read your chapter, And I said, well, it's not about when they tell you to read your chapter, it's telling you to read the information, get the knowledge from the content, because that's what he's going to quiz you over. So by teaching them how to go and find the answer, help them become better students. No one ever taught them this how to become a better student. So I went back to school, worked 3 jobs, and went to school, commuted back and forth to Durant, just for that transformation in my lifestyle.
Wow.
And I've been here ever since.
It's amazing.
It is. It's hard work, dedication, but you know what? Each one of these little beautiful faces I see here is well worth it. You hear me? Because that's all they need is encouragement. They already have the knowledge. I just need to show them how to go find the information. That's who I am.
Do you find your job challenging at some time?
No. Seriously, it's not challenging because I'm a lifelong learner, and I teach that to my children. You learn something new every day, and you apply it in your life in a positive way.
Do you feel like you've made a change in education, or do you want to see a change?
I am the change because I come each year prepared with a different mindset. Because each year I have a different group of children, and so the change for as in education. Yes, we have all these professors sit there on the board and tell us what we need to do to change, to do this and to do that. But I teach the whole child, not just the curriculum. I teach to the whole child. So that's my challenge.
What do you want to see change in our school districts?
What I want to see changed? I would like to see more diverse teachers, especially males, Hispanic, African American, because children need leadership. Women, we can get the job done, but we still need a male perspective as a role model. And I think the kids will really relate to them because in most homes, there are no father figures. So in education, I would like to see more males become educators. I know it doesn't pay much, but the rewards is beyond the payments.
My name is Katrina Mosley, and I am the assistant principal at the high school, and I have been in education for 10 years.
Why did you choose education?
I chose education because the teacher had the most impact on my life, and his name was Coach Chapman.
Okay. Do you find your job challenging?
Some days. Some days are more difficult than others, but for the most part, I enjoy it.
You feel like you've made a change in education? Or have you touched any kids in a different way?
I believe so. I believe I've had students reach out to me and go into education. That's what really inspires me when I have a former student decide to be a teacher and calls and asks questions and stuff like that, just to be that mentor to them.
Would you like to see any changes in the Otterville School District?
I'd like to reignite the passion for learning. I think COVID With everything, every student been out of school and going virtual and things like that, I think we've lost a lot of students that we need to work harder to get back.
My name is Betty Warren. I'm a second grade teacher, and I've been teaching 25 plus years.
Why'd you choose education?
Because I wanted to make a difference in someone's life. And I've always wanted to be a teacher since I was a little kid. So I pursued that and I became one.
You feel like you've made a change in education?
I feel like I have. And you know, this is my calling, I feel, and I feel like that I've changed many children's lives, and they sometimes come back and say thank you.
Do you think that there should be any changes made in Idleville School District, or any changes you would like to see made?
Well, I think we're doing better. We're changing. You know, it takes a while for certain things to be changed here, but eventually we'll get to where we need to be going. We're trying.
Thank you, Ms. Warren.
And another thing I would like to say before we close out, that teaching is a challenge, but I like challenges. And if it's not a challenge, then it won't change me.
My name is Marcus Ware, Coach Ware, as everybody call me. I've been in education since 2014.
Okay. Why'd you choose education?
I chose education because I wanted to make a difference in young people's lives, help them to realize their goals and what they are able to contribute to society. I just want to be a positive influence because I feel like they needed more representation of male role models, and I think that I would have a better impact in education working with the young people.
Do you find your job challenging?
Oh yes, very challenging and very rewarding. I like to look at every day as an opportunity to make a difference, but at the same time, learn. I learn from my students, and which helps me to be a better teacher. And yes, it's challenging, but at the same time, very rewarding.
Do you feel like you've made a change in education?
Yes, I've touched, I feel like I have. Students come back to me later telling me that I've made an impact in their life. At the time, it didn't, you know, they may rejected some of, you know, what we were asking of them, but at the same time, they learned from it and they grew, and it was wonderful to see them leave school and make progress.
Is there any changes you would like to see in Idleville School District?
Well, as far as changes, maybe everybody just could be more aware of some of the struggles that students have at home, and be able to relate to the community and be able to basically meet them where they are, and everybody have a unified plan on how to deal with certain situations, how to help students. Like I said, especially those who are struggling.
Jean Warhawk, and I'm the transportation director, and I've been here for a little over 20 years.
Why'd you choose this position?
Well, I had a lower position working as a para, and I chose to take this of being transportation director because it was much better pay.
Okay. Do you feel like you've made a change in your position when it comes to?
Yeah, I do, because I get to talk to the kids more and deal with them and the bus drivers and everything. I think I made a change for the better.
Do you find it challenging sometimes?
Very. Very challenging, but I'm up to it.
Is there any changes you would like to see in Idleville School District?
Well, not at this time.
Christopher Willis. Been in education for 3 years. I'm an English teacher. I do special ed as well, and I'm a 6th grade basketball coach.
What made you choose education?
Inspired by my wife, been in special ed, and it led to getting into the education field.
Do you find your job challenging?
Challenging? Actually, it has some challenges, but it's kind of fun challenges, because I like to be challenged anyway, so it's pretty good.
Do you feel like you've made a change in education?
Making a change, I hope I have. Just being positive to some of these kids, trying to do what's right, and they can see what I'm doing and maybe be inspired to them to be a teacher as well.
Do you feel like there should be any changes made to Idleville School District?
Changes? I just believe in let's just have more parent support, student support, and maybe everything can change from there.
My name is Lonnie Watson. I'm a 6th grade geography teacher. I'm the middle school softball coach, middle school baseball coach, middle school archery coach. This is my first year as an educator and as a coach.
Why'd you choose education?
Well, you know, the reason I taught education, or the reason I chose education, is because I believe that education is a big part of our kids' lives, and I think every child deserves a right for a free and good education. And I think that, you know, from my background and dealing with kids, I think that you know, education is very vital in Idabel and across the country.
Do you feel like you've made a change in education?
Being it's my first year, you know, it's kind of been an eye opener for me because, like I said, I'm a little bit inexperienced as being an educator. This is my first year, so I think I've made a few changes. I think that, you know, a lot of the kids really do have adapted to me as far as the way I do things in the classroom. I make it fun for the kids. A lot of the kids, they are learning without even knowing that they're learning. So I think I've made an impact on my sixth grade class.
Do you find it challenging?
Very challenging because you're dealing with sixth graders, and then on top of that, you're also dealing with seventh and eighth graders as far as being a coach, seventh and eighth grade. So it's very challenging because you deal with different attitudes. You know, you deal with different. You don't know what each kid has going on at home, so you have to deal with every kid a little differently than you would some, you know, so you deal with them differently.
What changes would you like to see be made in Idabel school districts?
I think that if we had more parent interaction with the school, teacher-parent interaction with the school, I think that would make Idabel a much better school district. I also think that we need to, if we had more, you know, we're dealing with a lot of boys in our school. I mean, we have lots of boys in our school, young men, and I think if we got a lot of dads involved, you know, in the school system and in with what their child's going through and what they're doing in school, I think it would make Idabel a better school district.
My name is Karen Andrews. I'm a special education teacher at Idabel High School, and I have taught for 6 years.
Why did you choose education?
I became a teacher because I enjoy working with children. I strive to be that teacher who helps students believe in themselves while mentoring and encouraging them to reach their full potential. Teaching also allows me to give back to a community that gave much to me.
Do you find your job challenging?
Yes. The pandemic brought about many challenges. Teachers had to quickly learn new ways to provide instruction. We had to adjust to wearing masks and being physically isolated from our students, just to name a few. Also, funding for education continues to be a challenge.
Have you made a difference in education?
I feel that I made a difference in the lives of my students by creating a classroom environment that allows them to excel in their own unique way. Also, when a student personally thanks you for something you taught them or done for them, you know you're making a difference.
Would you like to see any more changes in the community in Idabel School District?
Actually, that's another interview.
Thank you.
Thank you as well.